Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it is Monday, May 30th, which means it's time for another one of our weekly news update video thingies. Now, as I always mention at the start of these news updates when I do have one of these available, I'm going to be doing a booster pack opening of the Pokemon TCG. This is Furious Fist because we did open up a Breakpoint and Fates Collide last week in the news update, so we're back to the beginning of the rotation. Now, I did start collecting the X and Y base set when I first started getting back into collecting the cards. But we have run out of the base set and Flash Fire packs here in my hometown, so Furious Fist is where we're going to cycle back to whenever we open up the latest packs, starting off with here. Now, you might not be that interested in the cards that are in this set because they are considerably older. They are still legal in standard and expanded format, however, but even if you're not interested in the cards in this set itself, what I really like about the fact that you can redeem these code cards online, you unlock a pack online, you can trade that pack for other cards. So you can offer up a full pack for one Pokemon EX that you might be looking for from some newer sets. I'm sure there's people out there interested in the Furious Fist cards. Some more strong energy in here. The Fighting Stadium was a good one. Battle Reporter could come in handy. So if you do want to try to win the pack of the Furious Fist expansion, we're going to be doing a question of the day as usual, which I will give you as I open this. To participate, just answer the question of the day and use hashtag QOTD in your comment. And the drawing for that pack is going to be on June 5th, this coming Sunday. So yes, like I said, just answer the question, hashtag QOTD. Everyone that answers that question with the hashtag will go into the running on June 5th to get the code card that I pull out of that pack later on. But before we go any further into the news, let's talk about last week's question of the day. The question was, what do you think of the new legendary Pokemon revealed for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon? In the trailer they gave us a while back, they did show us the starters and what looks to be the legendaries, of course, the ones that are on the front cover. And we had those two packs from last week. The winner of the Breakpoint expansion pack was a viewer by the name of Jack Freeman. And Jack, I don't have your contact information. YouTube is still kind of weird with sending direct messages, so I can't get the code to you just yet. But if you are watching this, leave me a comment down below in this video. Let me know how I can contact you either by email or Twitter, and I'll get the code to you that way. As soon as I get your contact info, I will delete your comment so that nobody else can steal it and, have access to contact you, whatever. Just for, personal privacy sake sort of thing. So just let me know how I can get in touch with you. Now, his comment was, I think they're great, referring to the legendaries, but I don't think they will make a new type. And I had mentioned in the video that it looks like light type might be a thing that comes in this new generation. And yeah, in a way, I agree with that. It might be too soon to introduce a new type into the world of Pokemon because we did just get Fairy type introduced in Gen 6. And it had been not since Gen 2 that new types have been added in Dark and Steel type. But there is a chance, I think, that they might introduce Light. Now, Fairy typing could be seen as a way for Game Freak to test the waters. We have had 17 types ever since Gen 2 and all along this entire time. They might have been a little hesitant to include a new type. Fairy type could have been, like I say, testing the waters just to see what the addition of a new type would do to the game as an overall whole. And I think Fairy types have been introduced quite well. And it fits in pretty good. It gives us the nice balance for Dragon. So if Fairy type was received as positively as it seems to have been, that might have been them seeing we can add new types and it's not going to overall offend anybody or upset anybody, and it's not going to upset the overall feel of Pokemon in general. So Light type still could be coming, and it'd be really interesting to see if it gets included. Now, the winner of the Fates Collide booster pack code card that I opened up, a viewer by the name of Unknown Spike, and they say the legendary Pokemon designs are great and they may introduce Light type because they have introduced Dark type in Generation 2. They said 4, but it was actually Generation 2 that Dark type came in. And the legendary types might be Fire Light, Flying Light, and Dark Light. So this viewer is already expecting a third legendary, which we always seem to get in these every generation that comes along. And it'd be cool if they actually do introduce Light type and make a Dark Light Pokemon. Wouldn't that just be normal type though? Not exactly, I guess. You would think Fire Water type would be normal, but no, it'd be really neat to see a Dark and Light type Pokemon if Light type does become a thing. So congratulations to Jack Freeman and Unknown Spike for winning those code cards from last week. And again, you have a chance to win the Furious Fist code card by participating in the later question of the day coming up at the end of the video. Now, into the more official news stuff. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I'm going to talk about the channel itself. In general news, first and foremost, well, this is general Pokemon news. I think it's June 12th they've made an announcement that some more Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon information is going to be revealed to us. If and when that does happen, I'm not sure if it's June 12th or another day. I'm going to be doing I want to do a live reaction video. As you saw from the trailer from last time, I can do webcam now, or face cam I mean to say, as I watch the trailer. So I want to do, I had seen the Sun and Moon trailer originally and then I rewatched it again. It was still kind of fresh to me, but I want to get my fresh reaction as I watch the new information that comes out. and it's not perfect the way I have things set up. Like, you can get my face cam, but it's not super good quality. That's something I want to improve for the channel at some point in the future. But for the time being, we can at least get my live reaction to the new information as it is revealed. So I'm looking forward to doing that as soon as this new, I'm not sure if it's a trailer or not, but new information of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon comes out. I'm hoping June 12th or somewhere around there. Now, in general news for the channel itself, we're almost at 650 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. We're getting up there slowly but surely. And what I want to mention is reiterate what I have in mind for these collection boxes back here. I currently have the Mythical Pokemon Collection Darkrai, which is the legendary Pokemon for the month of May. And since this is May 30th, we're pretty much done with that. But I'm hanging on to this until we hit 700 subscribers, at which point I will do an on-camera unboxing of this, showing off the cards and offering out the code card to a viewer for another question of the day. But the next collection coming out pretty soon, I think sometime later this week, is Manaphy. And Manaphy will take the place of Darkrai if we don't hit 700 subscribers by the time that I do have the Manaphy collection. I'm not picking up immediately. I'm going to wait about a week or so, pick it up. There's a chance we could hit 700. Not likely, but either way, we will have a mythical collection for when we do hit 700 subscribers on the channel. And the bigger collection, as you can see here, one second, gotta clear my throat. We do have the Charizard EX Red and Blue collection as well. This one I'm hanging on to until we hit 1,000 subscribers. My plan for this is to do the unboxing on camera, give the code card out in the video as a question of the day, and also as another question of the day winner, I want to buy another collection box and mail it out so one viewer can get an actual collection of the physical cards plus the code card that goes inside that as we hit 1,000 subscribers as a nice little landmark bonus for hitting the 4 digits in subscribers. So if you're interested in stuff like that, feel free to subscribe. I always feel weird saying that because I don't want to act like, or I don't want to come across like I want more subscribers, because like in a way I do, but I want to be able to have more people to get this information out to and just more people to make connections with and just share the fun of Pokemon basically. So that is the plans for those collection boxes. The Blastoise collection, I think I'm picking mine up this week. So if I do, it's going to replace the Charizard collection and we'll hang on to that one for if and when we hit 1,000 subscribers before the next set comes out. So with that being said, that is the advancement of the collections here for the channel. If you were watching the videos over the weekend, which I admit were pretty staggered because I had a pretty bad internet connection, unfortunately, so the videos were not updating as quickly as I would like to, but the Johto Classic online competition did come to a close as of yesterday, and I did the full 30 battle participation. It was not the best. Like the very first day, if you watch that video, I had a pretty bad rating. I only won, was it 2 battles, and I lost the other 8, so I was already well behind the curve. But I wound up going even on the other 2 days, so getting 5 wins, 5 losses for the remaining 2 days. I ended up with, I think, around a 1450 rating, and I won't know for sure until the Pokemon Global link compiles all the data, but around 1450, 12 total wins, 18 total losses, a 40% success rate, which I'm kind of okay with, because I could have gone a little bit more strategic with the Pokemon that I chose. I wanted to choose my Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise in honor of the gym battle in Pokemon Blue, which I'll talk about in a little bit, just yesterday. And so I chose them. I wanted to bring a couple of Johto Pokemon as well, so I chose my Heracross and my Togetic. And I included Zapdos for a little bit of electric type coverage, and we didn't do too bad. Nowadays, these online competitions, they do allow for the older Pokemon, and the collection that I had along the way, those are the Pokemon I want to feature. But you can easily breed for max IVs in this current generation, and a lot of the Pokemon that I would be facing in these online competitions are probably battle trained and battle bred from birth. So the fact that we were able to go just at 40% of a success rate, not quite breaking even, but still not bottoming out at the very bottom, I'm happy with that. Plus, as I like to say, any loss that you can come away from with some knowledge on how to improve is not a complete loss. You're at least learning how to improve yourself. One thing I did learn, I need to choose a ground type. I gotta think not just ground type, all type immunities. I might want to start considering bringing more ghost types, ground types. I brought Togetic with fairy typing, which came in handy in one of the battles. We were immune to a Dragon Rush from Dragonite, but I want to consider type immunities a little bit more seriously for the upcoming battles that I get involved in. So that is one thing that I've learned from that. And as I mentioned about Pokemon Blue, the past, I think, 7 episodes have been a lot of just grinding and collecting Pokemon for the collection because, as I've been saying, blame Ash Ketchum. I needed to fill out my adventures back when I wrote my stories until he got to the point that he was going to take part in the Pokemon League. So all that being said, we completed the grinding and collecting of the Pokemon before Viridian Gym. Sunday was the Viridian Gym battle, finally, And I'm not going to spoil what happened, but you're welcome to go and check that out. It did go up just yesterday, sometime in the evening I think it was, and you can see what finally happened as the story is continuing. Now that we have that last 8th gym badge, we're heading for Victory Road. Pokemon Blue is almost complete. Pokemon Silver will be coming up very soon following that. Now, in Pokemon Shuffle news, there's a few special stages available until next Tuesday, June 7th. The first one is going to be a Carnivine stage called Try 'em Items. Wobbuffet had a stage like this just recently too. This lets you go in and battle Carnivine. You can choose any item in the shop for the cost of 0 coins just to see what the effects are like. And once you've tried the items out, if it's an item that really benefits your team, you might want to consider dropping some coins on it in the next actual match that you get into for some of these other Pokemon. Now, 2 standard encounters that you're going to have in the special stages. We have Magmortar and Kyogre. Both are just your regular choose your Pokemon team, get your damage off, try to capture them. But Kyogre has a little special benefit where I mentioned last week, now Pokemon that you have captured, if you battle them and defeat them again, there's a chance they'll drop a special item. Kyogre is one such Pokemon. If you can defeat it a second time, it might drop a skill booster item, which you can then use in a future battle. There is also a timed battle in the special stages right now for Ash-Greninja. It is currently in Pokemon Shuffle. This also has the ability where if you defeat it after capturing it, it might drop a skill booster as well. So you have some good chance to get some items on some of these legendary or pretty rare unique Pokemon in Pokemon Shuffle. Now, in the world of the video game, I guess Pokemon 20 as a whole, remember back when Mew was first revealed in February for the Mythical Pokemon distribution, and there was a lot of upset that certain parts of the world couldn't get the Mew, unfortunately. Only participating countries with certain stores had it. They are making available Mew once again in the June Pokemon Trainer Club newsletter. So if you haven't had a chance to get your Mew from back in February just yet, if you sign up within the next couple days, so sign up before June 1st, and basically make a Pokemon Trainer Club account, opt into the newsletter, you will get a distribution for Mew in this Trainer Club newsletter. Now, if you already got yours from the GameStop event or other stores around the world, you can't get a second one, but if you have missed out, you're maybe a little bit late getting involved in the Pokemon 20 hype, you have a chance to get that Mew in the newsletter as long as you subscribe by June 1st. So, they've also announced, with the World Championships coming up in August, I believe, down in San Francisco, California, they've announced what the World Championship prize rewards are going to be. There's a total of over $500,000 in scholarships, travel certificates, and cash available for the top winners in the world of Pokemon. That's pretty amazing. So the breakdown is, if you're 18 and older, the top 8 people, or the top 8 placements, are going to have an option of either a cash prize or a scholarship, which is really amazing, paying for school and advancing yourself in the world, which is really amazing, as I said. And if you place below the top 8, and within still the top placements, you have a cash prize that you'll be given. Now, if you're under 18, the top 8 placements will receive an option of either a cash prize or a travel certificate, and if you place below top 8, you'll have a travel certificate as your prize. Now, I'm going to include a link to the Pokemon information, or the Pokemon news information on the official website. I'm just going to break down the top prizes that the video game and TCG will receive. If you place first in the world of the video game basically, the prize is $10,000, and that is your option of either cash or scholarship / travel certificate based on how old you are. So that's quite a bit of money, but if you place in the first for the Pokemon TCG, $25,000 is the reward. And again, cash or the scholarship, travel certificate, whatever based on your age. And that is more than twice the video game. And the reason for that is probably the fact that the other $15,000 that it's different there, that's probably what you would have to invest in cards to be the top winner in the world. Not exactly, but the card game has a lot more money involved in it than the video game. For video game, you buy your game, catch Pokemon for free, train them for free, that's all. The TCG, there's a lot of buying packs, maybe buying specific cards online, and there's the trading aspect as well, but there's a lot more money invested in being a top player in TCG, so that's why, of course, TCG has a higher cash rating. So if you want to see the breakdown for the remainder of the placements of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and so on, I'm going to have that link down in the description. You can click that, see the overall breakdown of prizes for the Pokemon World Championships for 2016. A lot of money up for grabs. That's why I want to advance the Heroes Beacon Pokemon League that I attend. Start doing the more league challenges, including the video games and such like that, so that we can possibly get more involved and have some local players that I help, maybe train and help them get better at the game. I want to see if we can send them as far as we can and maybe get them some scholarships, get them some top prizes. So, all that being said, there's a lot of prizes up for grabs in the world of Pokemon. It's very different than when I got started in it, first of all, 20 years ago, back when I was playing Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy. It's now possibly a lucrative career almost that you can get into, so it's pretty amazing. So, in the other news update, we have some information from Pokemon GO. Not a lot more has been revealed, but there is some new information revealed on the Pokemon website. There's some new screenshots as well, as you can see. If you want to check those out, go right ahead. There is a link in the description to this as well. But the update is, there's some new information regarding the concept of Pokemon gyms. Now, as said in the past, certain premier locations across the world will have a gym associated to it. If it is an open gym when you arrive, you can drop a Pokemon off and claim it for the team that at some point in the game you'll be selected to join. I think it says Team Red, Blue, or Green. You choose your team, and if you encounter an empty gym, you can leave a Pokemon and claim the gym on behalf of your team. But now it says you will actually battle some Pokemon in these gyms, of course. If you encounter a rival gym, you can battle the defending Pokemon. But first of all, let's talk about if you own a gym. So if you have a gym under your team's ownership, and some Pokemon are left as defenders, you can raise the gym's prestige and level by battling the Pokemon in your collection against the defending Pokemon. So since it is your gym, of course if you defeat the defenders, you're not going to claim it for yourself. It's already your gym. But you will raise the level and prestige of your gym. The higher your level, the more defending Pokemon can be left to defend that gym. So it'll be really interesting to see a high-ranking, high-level gym with multiple Pokemon that you have to fight your way through. But if you do battle at a rival gym, you only have 2 attacks, apparently, from what it says, for your Pokemon, so that's kind of a drawback, I would say, but I like the fact they're keeping it simple. It's not the in-depth strategic game of the video game or TCG, so this is more of this Pokemon GO is more about getting you out and doing things, I think. It's not sitting home strategizing what is the best moveset for these Pokemon. You just have 2 attacks, and it's similar to Pokemon Conquest in that way, in which each Pokemon had only 1 attack. So, you do use your 2 attacks during the gym battle, and I think maybe any battle that you happen to engage in. It says if you swipe left or right on your device, you will dodge an attack. I don't know if it's a sure thing. I would think it's not. Probably just a chance to dodge, because if you could simply dodge every hit, that's kind of a drawback, you know? You can't simply be hit and lose the match. So there's a dodging aspect at least. So in all the times we've been watching the anime, when Ash yells out, "Pikachu, dodge it!" and it dodges, for those of us who would sit there saying, "You can't just do that in the game," in Pokemon GO you can. And that's pretty cool. So if you defeat the defending Pokemon at the gym, you will lower the gym's prestige level, and if you drop it to 0, that team loses ownership of that gym. You now have the option of dropping one of your Pokemon and claiming it for your team. So that's pretty cool. It also says something about if you take a team of your own to go to a rival gym, as a group whole, you can take on that gym together. I don't know if you would actually have, say, like a triple battle or something like that going on, but I would think, let's say if I take the first shot, weaken the Pokemon, my next team member can then take on that Pokemon in its weakened state, and you can sort of gang up on that gym and try to claim it for your own team. So there's a lot of team mentality going into the gym aspect of Pokemon GO, and it's going to be pretty cool to see how that all plays out. So that is all we're going to mention for the news update for the week. We are now going to get into opening the Furious Fist Booster Pack, starting with the question of the day. I've got 2 questions in mind. I'm going to save one for next week. And it's more, I just want to sort of get some information and feedback from the viewers on what you want to see from the future of this channel, because I want to provide the content you guys want to see. So the question of the day for this week, which I'll be doing the drawing for the code card on June 15th, this coming Sunday, for future online competitions in the video game, would you like to see all of the battles in a video? So just like I say, leave your answer to this in the questions in the comments with the hashtag QOTD, and just let me know what you think, because what I want to do is show off the battles as much as I can, but there are times, like for example, the first few battles of the Johto Classic, I was just swept by 2 Pokemon, and I should say 1 Pokemon in each of the 2 battles. So my concern is that's not really the best quality content to show you, because you're just going to see nothing but a one-handed, a one-sided sweeping of a team. And I will admit, it's a bit of a pride thing too. I don't want to just upload videos where I get destroyed all the time. But since I did go 40% win rate in this competition, although a lot of the battles were on the losing side, there is still the possibility that I have some victories to show. And even some of the battles that I lost, I included in the videos this week, because it shows off these strategies and just the mindset of trying to predict your opponent. And despite the fact I don't always win, I want to show that off to the viewers who might not be competitive in the world of Pokemon and want to learn how to do it. I'm not the best, but I am learning along the way, and I think I have the right mindset in certain situations. For example, there was one time when the opponent, what was it? I sent in my Blastoise against a Charizard. I knew that they weren't going to leave their Charizard in on my water type. So at that point I chose to switch to my Charizard. They switched out to Vileplume as Blaze the Charizard came in. That's the kind of mindset you have to have when thinking competitively. What will your opponent do? No, rather, what would you do in the opponent's place and counter that? So that's why I sent that's why I sent Charizard in as the Vileplume came switching in as well. So, as I say, are you interested in seeing all the battles and me talking about the strategies and the basic mindset behind what I'm choosing to do on each turn? And I could show off all the battles. My concern would be having too much video content and too much basically for everyone to sit through and watch it all, and sort of missing some of the highlights, because if there's, say, 5 battles in a video, one really good one, but that's at the end with 4 kind of boring ones, people might not be interested in sticking around till the end when it shows the good video. So I'm kind of good with either way. Eventually at some point when the channel gets big enough and I have the technology to do so, I might consider doing some live stream stuff for these competitions like that. So let me know what you think about this. Again, just leave your answer in the comments below. Use hashtag QOTD for the question of the day. Let me know, do you want to see all the battles of these online competitions, or would you rather just see the highlights as I've been showing? So we are now going to open up the Furious Fist Booster Pack. And again, the code card I'll hold to the side until Sunday, June 5th. Everyone who answers this question of the day with that hashtag in the comment has a chance to win this code card. Let's not waste any more time. Let's pop these cards open right now and see what I get. So let's see what lucky cards I happen to get out of the Furious Fist Booster Pack I'm opening today. And as far as the rotation of these packs go, I have plenty of Furious Fist cards available to open up, so we're not going to be running out of these anytime soon. But the other ones later we might, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So here is the code card, held to the side until Sunday, June 5th. And let's see what cards come out of the booster pack for my collection right here today. So make sure we are focused on this. Not quite. That looks pretty good there. So we're starting off with a Patrat. We have a Shroomish, Clefairy, Trapinch, and a Skorupi. Uncommon cards are going to start with a Watchog, go to the Patrat. We have a Fighting Stadium, one of the good fighting cards from this expansion. We have a Pancham with the Bad Influence Evolution. Very good. Now, attacks like that say, if you have any Darkness Pokemon on your bench, search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon. It says this counts as evolving this Pokemon, but it actually gets around the can't evolve on the first turn restriction of normal Pokemon play. So if this Pancham is on your first turn or it just comes into play on its first turn, Bad Influence Evolution can evolve it into Pangoro. The reverse foil card is going to be a Trapinch, which we just saw. Look how shiny this thing is. I'm kind of shadowed, unfortunately. I should have moved the light a little bit better. But we do have the Trapinch, and the rare card of the Furious Fist Booster Pack is going to be a Tyrantrum. I've battled these on occasion. It can chew up for 60 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached, 90 more damage, which is quite impressive. Giga Impact is 150, and this Pokemon can't attack during the next turn. So those are the cards I got for your chance to get some possibly better cards out of the online Furious Fist Booster Pack. Again, answer the question of the day, which is, for future online competitions in the video games, would you like to see all battles in the videos? Leave your response to that, use hashtag QOTD in your comment, and on Sunday, June 5th, you'll have a chance to win this Furious Fist online code card for Pokemon TCG Online. With all that being said, we're going to end off the news update video today. Come on back to the channel tomorrow as we continue in our Pokemon Blue adventures. We're finally heading for Victory Road and going to advance the story, getting closer to the completion of Pokemon Blue as a whole. I want to say thank you for checking out the news update video today, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.